Shalom, shalom. The Most High has put it on my spirit to share my testimony of the birth of my third child. As you know, this platform was created to share testimonies because Yah deserves all the glory, honor, and esteem for bringing the revelation to us, for getting us through, for just doing a mighty work within us. So it is our duty to share, to encourage, uplift, and edify the body. So I came into truth after our second son was born. So being in truth with the third child, I had a whole different mindset. I had a whole different vision of what my pregnancy should look like, what childbirth should look like. I had a whole vision. I wanted a home birth. I wanted a water birth. I wanted delayed cord clamping. I wanted no vitamin K. I wanted 8th day circumcision. I wanted to do all the things that Yah wanted me to do. I wanted to be like our ancestors, have the child at home, to just lean on the Most High. I thought doing this was going to make Abba so proud of me, of delivering and carrying this pregnancy with honor for his name's sake. That's what I attach all of this to. I'm doing it for his name's sake. It has to be like this for his name. So my childbirth experience did not go as I planned. The home birth I wanted turned out to be a trip to the hospital. My contractions started at night. Before you know it, they started getting real intense. I had a beautiful birthing team, that y'all orchestrated and aligned just for me, and all praises to him for doing that. I had a midwife and a doula, in truth. At the time, she wasn't officially signed off, so she had someone overseeing her, and she was also amazing with years and years of experience, gentle, soothing, just really put my needs and my wants and my desires first. So my birthing team came over, and once I told them that my contractions were like back to back and they were getting pretty hard to walk and breathe through, they came rushing over. When they got here, it was late, and they was like, maybe we should take a nap. It's like, I don't want to take a nap. I want to keep going. I want to work out. I want to get things rolling. I feel like I have work to do, and I want to work. So they urged me to take a nap. I didn't listen. It's like, go ahead, y'all can relax, take a nap. I'm just going to bounce my ball for a while and, walk in circles and so forth. I got them some blankets. Next thing you know, time passes by, and it's like 3-4 in the morning, and my contractions, like, they start getting heavy. By that time, they're heavy to the point where if I try to lay down, and go to sleep, it won't happen. My body was not having it. I could not sleep through those things. And that was stubborn of me, because I should have hearkened, and I should have listened, and I should have took the nap and rejuvenated my body. But I didn't, and as my contractions got closer and more intense and just longer, they started to become unbearable. I was crying out to Yah. I was crying out, asking for strength, praying, listening to worship music. My kids are in the house hearing me cry. They're worried. Is Daddy going to help Mommy? What's wrong with Mommy? And in those moments, I just felt like all my faith just diminished. Everything that I believed in was just going away. I felt like I couldn't do it. I was so upset with myself because I was speaking failure into me, and I felt like I was letting down. I was letting down, y'all. I felt like I wasn't doing it right. I couldn't breathe right. I couldn't endure. I couldn't long suffer those moments. I felt so weak, and like I was just giving up, and I was disappointing him. That me as a woman, I'm built for this. This is what I'm made for. I'm supposed to be able to do this like this, and I can't. I feel like I can't. It got to the point where time went by, and I felt so weak with each contraction. I can't even describe the pain I felt in my lower back. I didn't want to get checked. I didn't want them popping out my water. I didn't want them doing those things, but yet I let them check me to see where I was. And I stayed at 8 centimeters for so long. And after staying at 8 centimeters for more hours, I said, just pop the water. Just do it. They did that. And still, hours go by. Nothing. I'm crying. I look defeat. My husband, he's just staring at me, feeling just so bad for me. He was so supportive through my exercises, doing lunges with me, doing squats with me, pouring into me, just uplifting, encouraging me. And he said, we should go to the hospital. I'm nervous that you won't be able to have enough energy to actually push the baby out. And I just kept on saying, no, I don't want to go. No, I don't want to go. I'm supposed to be able to do this. And eventually I caved. I gave in and I went to the hospital screaming for an epidural, something I said that I was not going to get again. So once again, I went against the things that I said, feeling like I let Abba down again. It took them forever to give me the epidural. And once they gave it to me, it wasn't even working. Another 45 minutes went by after being in the hospital for now like 2 to 3 hours. I had to get another epidural. Finally, I was able to get some sleep. And the midwife at the hospital that Yah sent, she was amazing as well. She listened to all my requests, honored everything that my heart desired. And she let me be in charge of how I wanted things to go. And she just supported me and educated me through it. And I really loved that. Despite all the turns the night had took, Abba was still showing up for me. And in those moments, I didn't even see it or appreciate it. I was still so disappointed because nothing was going the way I wanted it to go, the way I envisioned it. After pushing for 2 hours, I gave birth to a baby. My husband caught the baby, and it was a boy, a beautiful baby boy, because we let it be a surprise. And they put him on my chest, and he was crying, and then he wasn't crying. And then another team came in, and this man came over. He was just being so rough. And I yelled at him, back up, get off of me and my baby. So he did. And another lady just explained, this is so-and-so, and he's here to just help, your baby start breathing and this and that. I'm like, he could have just introduced himself and said that instead of the way he went about it. It was just wrong. Anyways, they got my baby to start breathing, and the next thing you know, I started hemorrhaging. It turns out a piece of my placenta was still in me, which was causing me to bleed extra. But all praises to Yah once again, because she was able to get that under control without me even needing a transfusion or anything, because it was a lot of blood. And still through all that, in those moments, I still I wasn't grateful. It wasn't until weeks later where I had to think back on my experience, and I had Abba use vessels to pour into me, because after birth I was so sad. I was truly so sad. I would hide and cry. I would try so hard to hide my pain. I don't know if it showed or not, but I tried so hard to hide it from my family. The disappointment I had in myself, it was just overwhelming. Until a moment, my doula and a few other sisters was like, you have a baby. Yah kept your baby. Yah kept you. You were here. He is here, and he is healthy, and you are healthy. And that's all that matters, If you paid attention, I said I so many times. I wanted it this way. I wanted it that way. And not once did I really consider Yah's will, and to just let his will be done, and be grateful that the outcome was as positive as it was. When not other women have that opportunity, have that blessing, have that covering, for it to go as mine did. And I felt so ungrateful. But still, somehow the feelings wouldn't shake inside, and it took a while for them to dissipate. Just feeling like I still let him down, like I didn't have enough faith. But that wasn't true. My lack of faith came in when I lacked my trust that he will carry me and carry the situation, and just release all control onto him as we're supposed to do. I remember talking to my husband and finally opening up to him, because I cried so many times in private, and I try to hide so well what I was feeling, what I was going through mentally. And who knows, maybe it showed. I probably did. But I finally sat down and had an open conversation, because it was something I was real nervous to do. And I told him how I was struggling, and the way he uplifted me with his words. It was only but Yah using him as a vessel to talk to his daughter through my husband. And what sharing with him was what I'm sharing with you. He also told me that, it's also hard for him to even get used to the new season that we're in, having 3 kids and working long hours, being tired, just getting used to everything. And then he just reminded me that, you're a man. I mean, he's a man, I'm a woman, and that we operate differently. Women are more emotional. Men tend to keep it all in. But it doesn't mean that they're not going through it. And in that moment, I just had like this revelation that about how we treat our husbands, like just because they truly hold it all together externally doesn't mean they're not fighting battles secretively, They're just more prideful about it. They don't wear their battles out. But that doesn't mean that their battles aren't as heavy, as hard. And I had so much compassion in that moment that for some reason, I don't know if I always had that. And I just started thinking about how he feels about things, because we often just put ourselves first, think about how we feel because we're full of emotion. And sometimes because they don't display those emotions, we don't even think of it. Some of us do. So I had to think about him and how he feels and how this season is for him. Each season, Yah is revealing something to us. He's testing us. He's shedding new light, knowledge upon us so we can walk in a better light. And who knows how long we stay in one season. It can be for a while till what he wants to accomplish gets fulfilled, gets done within us. So in that moment, it is when I internally said, I need to be a better helpmeet. Abba, help me be a better helpmeet. Not the one that I desire to be, but the one that you desire me to be for him. Teach me how to love him and to show up for him in the way that you need me to, for him to grow and for him to lead our household, for him to love us, for him to come home to a peaceful home. Help me be all that you need me to be, to tend to our home. Help me not be frustrated. Help me not be angry. Help me not show impatience. Help me steward my home better. Help me lead and guide the household in love, compassion, with endurance and long-suffering, with gentleness and kindness. Help me be a pillar of rest for my home, for my husband. Let this home be a peaceful place where everyone feels safe to dwell in all aspects. Help me hold it together when I feel like I can't. Give me the strength to be that support being for everybody else. Help me amount to my title. Help me amount to the woman that you envision me to be, that you pre-created me to be. So I say all this to say, trust in y'all's vision. If it's not your way, doesn't mean it's the wrong way. He has a plan. His plan is always good. Trust in him. Ultimately, that's what faith is. It's trusting in Abba. Love your husband the way that y'all need you to love him. Be the helpmeet that he needs you to be. Because at the end of the day, our covenant is with the Most High. And Messiah is here to help us walk it out. Adhere to our heads to the highest level. Loving your husband means biting your tongue, is not fighting his battles for him, but supporting him through the battles, and waiting till the Ruach tells you what to say, when to say it, and how to say it. And if your words aren't seasoned, wait until they are. Let Abba use you. Don't let your flesh dictate how to run your home. Spend more time with Abba so he can reveal a matter to you, even if it's just sitting in silence and listening for his commands, and hearken to those commands. Let Abba refine you. Let Abba take you to the fire, through the fire. Lay our burdens on Abba. We don't have to carry the weight of everything on our shoulders, but through him we can get through. When we stop doing it our way, we rely on him. That's him carrying the burden for us. All we have to do is walk in the path that he tells us to. And that doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but just having that trust in him and knowing that at the end of that season, how much more beautiful you'll come out. It's a gift and a prize all in itself that's well worth it. So I pray that you've taken something from my experience, from my testimony, and I pray that you use it. All glory, honor, and esteem be to the Most High Yahuwah, Bahashem, Hamashiach. Hallelujah.